Hey y'all, welcome to Night Combos. It's just Lovey here. Hubby's downstairs making dinner, so sorry that hubby's not in this video. It's just Lovey, so real quick, thank you all so much for subscribing and being a part of our family and channel here. We love and appreciate every single one of y'all. We truly do. Thank you to all of our new subscribers and welcome. We truly appreciate all of you. And we hope y'all enjoy all of our content. Y'all, we're starting to really look into Nick's trial and his appeals and all of that, since a lot of you wrote letters to, try to get him clemency because he doesn't have any appeals left. So all he has is clemency. He's at the mercy of the governor overturning his conviction, or giving him some sort of clemency, like a retrial or a resentencing or something like that. So, we're kind of looking into that. And when looking into that, we found something, which was Dan Glidwell's testimony. The Dan, Dan the man, Dan, the one that Gypsy denies ever having a sexual relationship with, but she most certainly absolutely did. Dan testified to that in court under oath, that they did have a sexual relationship, all of that. We're going to jump into that in just a second, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of our subscribers. We truly appreciate all of you so very much. We're trying to get some video court record of Dan testifying, which can be a little expensive. We're having to pay for that, but we're trying to get that. We're trying to, request that so that we can show that to y'all. But for now, we're going to show y'all the court documents, the court record, of everything that was typed up and stuff of what happened. And well, not in this video. We're not going to go over the whole entire, appeal thing, because this came from Nick Godejohn's appeal hearing, one of his appeal hearings. So, and we're just kind of scratching the surface in this video, and we're just looking at what Dan had to say and talking about what Gypsy has always said. So we're just kind of scratching the surface a little bit in this video. This is kind of just to introduce what we're going to be, getting into even deeper a little bit. But yeah, so, and we're trying to get that video, y'all, that video evidence of Dan testifying at Nick's appeal. But what I'm about to show y'all comes from his appeal. It's just the typed version of everything that was said. And, so anyway, we have to pay for all that. So just let y'all know. But it just, I guess I say that because it makes us mad, because Bree, Gypsy's BFF Bree, and that whole little camp over there loved to say that we're making bank off of Gypsy and Gypsy's paying our bills and stuff. No, Gypsy is not paying our bills. Okay, we do not make that kind of money. Literally, we don't. We literally make a few cents off of an ad playing during a video or something. Literally, that's how it works, just to be honest with y'all. So, just putting that out there for you, Bree, who wants to say that Gypsy's paying all of our bills. No, ma'am. She may be paying your bills, though. Maybe that's what you're getting confused about. She may be paying your bills, but not ours. Just saying. Anyway, if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Leave your thoughts, opinions, and comments in the comment section down below, and we would greatly appreciate it so much. Y'all, every single one of y'all means so very much to us, and y'all's opinions and comments mean so much to us. We may not get to reply to all of them, but we do read them. We truly do. So we want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions on it. So, anyway, with that being said, let's jump into this. And we're trying to get video of this because we could not find it anywhere out there, on the internet, like anywhere. We can't find it anywhere. So that's why we're just trying to get it for ourselves so that we can share it with y'all. But this right here is just a piece of what all was typed up during Nick's appeal hearing. And it says at 3:15 p.m., Westerman is dismissed. The court is in recess. And Westerman is Dr. Theodore Westerman, a pediatric neuropsychologist that was hired by Nick's defense team at that time, which was different from the defense team he had in his original trial. So he was dismissed. He had been questioned. They had just got done questioning him. Court went into recess for a few minutes. They came back in at 3:24 p.m. and the defense attorney calls Daniel Gladwell. He met Gypsy at a convention. And it says, before we read what Dan had to say in his testimony under oath, this is Dan. This is the real Dan right here. This is him. This is who Gypsy was so infatuated with and so in love with, kind of like she is with Kenny Boy, Knurker now. So hubby and I have talked and we've wondered, who's it going to be next? This is also Dan, and y'all can see in both pictures that he's, dressed up. He's all into this Comic-Con thing, like going to Comic-Cons and, dressing up and stuff like that, but not like dressing up in a sexual way or anything like that, but like dressing up to go to Comic-Cons and Comic-Con conventions and stuff like that. Okay, so Dan, he's the man. Okay, so let's go look at his testimony. Okay, so I just wanted to remind y'all of who Dan Gladwell was. So Dr. Westerman, that the defense attorney called, who was not a psychiatric, but a pediatric neuropsychologist, was called. He's just been dismissed. Court went into recess. Okay. And now the defense attorney for Nick has called Daniel Gladwell. Dan, Dan the man. Okay. And says Gladwell kept in contact with Gypsy via video chat. He says that Gypsy told him her mother made her stay in a wheelchair and had unnecessary medical treatment. Now listen to that carefully. He says that Gypsy told him her mother made her stay in a wheelchair and had unnecessary medical treatment. He says that, and I've got it highlighted here, their relationship developed from friendship to a sexual relationship. Remember, they met at one of the Comic-Cons. And Dan and Gypsy met at VisionCon in 2009. So keep that in mind. They met at VisionCon in 2009. This is her and Dan. Okay, and I know this looks like an older man, but it's not. It's just the way his face is blurred out. But this is Gypsy, dressed in whatever character she was dressed up for VisionCon. Okay, back to Dan's statement. He says that their relationship developed from friendship to a sexual relationship. They would send explicit videos to each other. He discusses how they role-played occasionally. He referred to Gypsy as being shy and timid. He says, talking about Dan says he developed a taste of power exchange role-playing from her. Hear that again. He says he developed a taste of power exchange role playing from her. So, like dominant and submissive, being one being dominant, one being submissive, and then they would switch. Same thing she done with Nick. But remember, she met Dan before she even met Nick. She met Nick, I believe it was in 2011 or 2012. I apologize, y'all. I believe it was 2012. No. It was 2013 because it was like 2 years before the unaliving of Dee Dee or something. A year a year and a half to 2 years before the unaliving. So I think it was 2013 that she met Nick. So she met Dan in 2009 though. So when she met Dan, she would have been 18 years old. So she was of age, but he was in his 30s and married. And she ran off, to a hotel room to try to have sex with him. Dee Dee and the people that her and Gypsy were there with, found Gypsy, and Dee Dee made her get dressed and said, let's go, But what mom wouldn't, when their 18-year-old is trying to be with a 30-something-year-old married man. Anyway, back to that sentence again. He said he developed a taste of power exchange role playing from her. From Gypsy. He says she would send nude photos, dress up in costumes, and use various fictitious names. Huh, doesn't that sound familiar? And she was doing this, y'all, well before she met Nick. Way before she met Nick. So there you go, Bree. You can add that to your video you're planning on making about Nick, trying to say that Gypsy didn't know anything about any of this until Nick taught it to her. No, that's a whole lie. Most of us know that, but a lot of people don't, and they believe that Nick taught that to her. No, that's not true. Okay, and then it says, Gladwell says he was injured and that Gypsy visited him while he was in the hospital. She told him she wanted to go to Arkansas to restart her life. So he had gotten jumped. Dan Gladwell, Dan the man, got jumped outside of a bar and got beat up real bad. He was in the hospital. She found out about it, and she went to one of the neighbors' house, ran over to one of the neighbors' house, knocked on the door, asked for a ride to the hospital. They took her. She went to see her Dan the man and told him that she wanted to leave with him to go to Arkansas with him, back to Arkansas with him, to his farm or whatever that he lived on. Well, Dan said, no, that ain't gonna happen. You need to leave. Leave me alone. Stop contacting me. Leave me alone. Go away. Leave. Go back home. He had to make her leave to go back home. And she was all boo-hoo, upset about it. And it literally, upset her really bad. That made her crazy, right? Okay? Quote, crazy. Let me just say, I'm not calling her crazy for entertainment and educational purposes only. Let me just throw that in there. But that made her really upset and go crazy, right? She didn't like that. She wanted to run away with Dan. She loved Dan. She was infatuated with Dan. She was still infatuated with Dan so much that the night before the unaliving, she literally texted Nick to ask Nick, hey, can I have sex with him, before the day before? The day before you get here and the deed is done, what she calls the deed, the quote deed. And allegedly, there wasn't really anybody there. She wasn't really going to meet up with anybody to have sex. She was just wanting to make sure that Nick was going to show up, and that he was going to be there. And Nick told her, no, that's not okay. you need to, not do that. And I'll be there. I'm on my way there now. Because he was on a bus on his way there. And he didn't want her having relations with another man. But now, since we've been getting into it and looking into it even deeper, hubby and I have been wondering, what was Gypsy's end game after her mom was unalived? Who else was there? Somebody else was there, y'all. We've shown y'all crime scene photos. We're going to be doing more videos and a live and stuff showing crime scene photos and talking about them and stuff with another person, like another creator and stuff, and another person who helped us get the crime scene photos and stuff. We're going to be doing videos like that and lives and stuff talking about it, where y'all can be in the chat and stuff like that, and hopefully a panel and all too, to talk with us live and everything as well about all of this and y'all's thoughts and everything. We're going to show y'all more crime scene photos where you can tell someone else had to have been there. Even by Nick's interrogation video, it sounds like someone else was there. And he said the one person he would never apologize to was Dan. But this did not benefit Dan in any way to, be in court and testify on Nick's behalf for the defense team for Nick. It didn't benefit him in any way. It didn't benefit him to lie, or anything like that. So I don't believe he was lying. I absolutely believe he was telling the truth when he said their relationship developed from friendship to a sexual relationship. He discusses how they role played occasionally. He developed a taste of power exchange role playing from her. She would send nude photos, dress up in costumes, and use various fictitious names. Wonder if they were the same ones that she used with Nick, like Ruby and Candy and Damona and all the other ones. Anyway, so that's the part of Dan Gladwell's testimony that we were able to get as of right now. Like we said, we hope to be able to get the video footage of his testimony so that we can all watch it. Anyway, we hope to get that so that we can all watch it and share it with y'all. We would love to be able to do that. So hopefully we're able to do that. But let us know y'all's thoughts and opinions and comments and everything on this in the comment section down below. And we'll be conversating with y'all like always. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell, all of the things, and we would greatly appreciate it so very much. We have a lot of good videos and lives planned and stuff like that you're not going to want to miss, we promise. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're already subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed, because sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe people. That's not letting some people comment on our videos. We don't know why. We do not stop anyone from commenting. We've never blocked anybody except for one person, and that was because it was Bree or Gypsy one. And that's all. We only have ever blocked that one account. We've never blocked anyone, or anyone's comments or anything, or deleted them, nothing. So please don't ever think that it's us, because we don't do that. Anyway, we hope y'all have a good night, and God bless. Bye.